I have two things before we properly start. The first thing is everyone on push to talk.
Okay, hold on. Wait, she can't do that.
Okay, well, the muting, as long as you remember to unmute when you want to talk, Amara, we're good.
Okay.
Hi, baby.
Wow, that's like a quick mute.
So,
I am used
other-
to muting and unmuting.
Yeah. The second thing
Yep.
is for Austin, Amara, and Sammy. I need the three of you to roll me a D100.
Oh.
Oh no.
85.
Woo!
Okay, good to know. Thank you.
What does that mean? What does that mean? She rolled a 100. Oh no. That's a great question. Oh, shit.
I'll write it down later.
Oh.
Okay. Now, if we're all ready to start, we are turning first to you, Austin. As I mentioned before, we're going to start this off through your perspective. So, it's been a harrowing journey for you across the ocean. Your boat, it's functional. It was not made for the ocean, and it's kind of a minimal crew. Most of the people on it are passengers. It's cramped. It's uncomfortable. There have been times throughout this more than a month-long journey where you've had to literally bucket water out of the boat just because it couldn't handle the rougher seas. You've been wet. You've been tired. But it's otherwise relatively jovial. On the calmer days, people are laughing and singing and talking excitedly about what they're going to do when they get to the northern continent and making jokes about things. People are sharing tidbits of what they know about the place that you guys are going to, or rumors that they've heard, things that they claim are fact, but you really don't know if they are. But it's been a trip. You see it land in the distance. Luckily, your boat is not currently flooding. It's a clear day.
Let's go.
It's really quite nice.
Yeah.
Some of the other people on the boat have been singing. Someone tips a last bit of their wine out into the ocean, just so that there is not a freak storm coming. They do not want to get Crusaders up in arms in a wake. They want to avoid that. The boat channels or sails around several smaller, very mountainous islands, and they come into this hidden bay area. There are high cliffs. There's a guard tower on either end of the cliffs into this bay that you're passing. Larger ships are going in. The waves that those ships are making are rocking your boat a bit. You have to kind of cling to the edge every once in a while. One larger ship doesn't seem to see you and comes way too close, and it really rocks the boat. And the person who you're sailing with starts cursing at the ship and shaking his fist, but the other ship doesn't seem to notice. As you're going, you hear strange noises, and as you get into the bay, you look up, trying to figure out what those noises are, and you see wyverns in the sky, just flying throughout the bay. Every once in a while, dive bombing the ships, and you see one wyvern actually uses its claws to pick up a passenger off one of the ships and tries to fly off with it, but one of the guard towers that are above the cliffs use bolts to shoot at the wyvern and causes it to startle, drops the person. People on the ship manage to get the overboard person back onto the ship and keep sailing into the dock. kind of warily watch out for any more wyverns coming at you, but they seem to be more focused on the larger ships, the ones that they can easily see and see lots of people scurrying around on. You can hear distant calls of people being just frustrated with this influx of wyverns lately. But you eventually get to the docks. It's lively as all hell. There are people everywhere. And you also notice that there's a bit of a tension in the air. While there are people who are just happy and excited and exploring and shopping at the various little stalls on the edge of the dock, there are a lot of people who are also like seemingly arguing with what might be dock masters, people who work in the area. You see a number of guards just littered about the docks, and some seem to be locking some of the ships down. The person that you're sailing with appears a little nervous as they start seeing this, and cursing under his breath, he begins ushering you all off so he can try and get out of there as quickly as he can.
Okay.
Looking around. Yeah. So, quickly getting off of the boat and looking around, there is a vast array of things around you. To your left are ships that it seems like the people there are a bit more naturalists. They have a lot more almost druidic influences. Some are a bit more regal and whatnot. You can tell that there are heavy elven influences to your left. To your right, it seems a lot more. Normal's not the right word, but it's almost more mundane in a sense, a bit more industrial in others. You have people from the Eastern Kingdom on your right, and people from the Western Kingdom on your left as you're facing into Silkwater. There are a number of people around, and you are fresh off this boat. You know no one here. You don't have any clue of what's going on in this immediate area or in the city or town as a whole. What are you gonna do first to try and maybe find some information, maybe find lodging? What are you going to be first doing to start your adventure?
Okay, to start, I would like to find, I want to say a nearby guard. I want to see if I can speak to a guard who might be not busy, someone who might be patrolling, or someone who might be standing at attention, just keeping an eye over the area.
That's easy enough to find. As I said, the guards are just littered throughout. A lot of them seem to be dealing with people from the ships around you, but there are some that are just patrolling the docks streets, and some that are stationed at various streets just watching, kind of keeping an eye out on things. So it's pretty easy for you to find one. I would say you approach the first one that you can see that's kind of stationary, that you don't have to flag down. And approaching them, hailing them and whatnot, they look you over and kind of raise a slight brow but give you a smile and go, "Hello there. Anything I can help you with?"
Yes, you see, I'm fresh off of a boat. I'm not from this land, a guest to this beautiful city. I was wondering if you might be able to point me in the direction towards maybe an inn or a tavern, some place to freshen myself up, get the disgusting smell of the sea off of my fur, and maybe fill my belly.
Oh, there's plenty of places like that here. If you're wanting to get rid of the sea smell, I would make your way up to at least Lowtown. Midtown's going to be a better bet for trying to really get out of that, well, the aroma of this area.
Midtown, you say? Well then. Alright, see,
It'll be about an hour's walk from here.
An hour's walk. That's not too bad. I might enjoy the scenery while I'm at it. Do you have any recommendations for any inns or taverns that might be a bit more upscale? Might offer a bit more than, say, the usual commodities?
Well, if you're wanting upscale, then you'll actually want to be heading to Hightown. If you're wanting to scale back on expenses, then Fine Moon Pub in Midtown, they don't really do much in the way of... Maybe not them, actually, now that I think about it. Try the Smiling Barrow. That's a good one. Tipsy Star kind of has... you're more likely to get doused with beer than you are to actually get clean, so if you're sticking to the Midtown, Smiling Barrel is probably your bet.
Alrighty then, the Smiling Barrel it is. Thank you, kind sir, I appreciate it.
Not a problem.
And with that, I make my way into Midtown, searching for the Smiling Barrel.
So you walk through Dockside to get to Lowtown, which leads you to Midtown. And as you're walking, you see that Dockside is pretty cramped. It is lined with stalls of various merchants from local produce, but most of it is imported. Things that come from your homeland, the Southern Isles and the Southern Continent, and some come from the East, some from the West. And there's just a mass amount of mingling sense of spices and fish and various street foods and the like. There are colorful cloths around, which that one kind of reminds you more of home, as for the Southern Isles that you're from, or the continent. Colorful cloths are something that are in abundance. It's very much part of decor, part of clothing, etc. It's a very colorful place generally. So that almost makes you feel a little home, like at home. But you keep going. You do notice that it's also a lot dirtier here. There are, like, someone's dumping a bucket out their window in one of the houses. They kind of like jump out of the way of and skirt around. Keep going, and once you get to Lowtown, it's much better than Dockside in the way of upkeep. The houses and whatnot are a little nicer. They're not as worn down from salt water, though it's still close and still has that problem. But there's a bit more brick to the masonry there, to the architecture, than wood and plaster like in Dockside. It's a bit sturdier, but it's definitely kind of the low rent area. You can see a lot of places that haven't been touched up with paint. There's some things that just haven't been taken care of very well, but it's also very lively. Lots of people running around. You can hear jovial laughter and arguments and the like from like every corner as you're going. You came in the middle of the day, so there is a lot of activity around you. Things haven't gotten to a point where they can settle down yet. But then you walk into Midtown, and everything kind of quiets down a bit. It's a little bit more average, a little bit more day-to-day here. It's more of your run-of-the-mill people rather than dock workers and tourists and gambling addicts and the like that you've been crossing to get here. The people of Midtown, it's average families, it's working class, it's just relatively nice area. And looking around, you don't immediately see the inn. You have to ask for directions, but you do find the Smiling Barrel, not that far from when you entered Midtown. It's a rather old-looking building, and rather than a hanging signpost, it has a literal barrel that's been just like bolted into the side of this building that someone has painted with like a smiley face. It is one of the most ridiculous and stupid looking things you've seen, but it seems like a nice place. And coming into the establishment, it's at this moment not as active as you would expect. There's not, well, it's midday, so it's maybe not that you wouldn't expect it. You would expect it to not be super hopping in here, because people who are drinking midday are probably more on the drunkard side. But it's a pretty nice establishment. You can see a few off-duty guards just like lounging at a table, casually playing a game of cards with each other. You can see a rather tired-looking person to the side who's just hunched over their meal and drinking something. You can't tell if it's water or if it's an alcohol or what, but they're just sipping on something as they eat, just looking bagged. And there's a rather friendly-looking dwarven barkeep behind the thing, the counter. That's the word I was looking for. And I'm assuming you approach them.
Yes, I do. I approach and I say to him, "Hello there, my friend. I was wondering if you might be able to help me with your fine establishment in seeking some food and or the possibility of maybe taking a bath to clean off this rather dirty aroma of the fresh sea."
Oh, aye, we can help you with that. If you're looking for a room for the night and all the amenities, food and all that, I'm looking at 50 silver for the night. You'll get a hot meal, hot bath, all that with it.
Beautiful. I think I will most definitely take that. And you said it was 50 silver, correct?
That's right.
Ah, wonderful, wonderful. Thank you very much, my friend. And I hand over the 50 silver in a nice little bag for him.
Perfect. He nods and opens it a little, does a quick little finger count with it, and nods, smiles, and tucks it away. And he asks you, like, if you're a meat eater, vegetarian, if you are strictly fish or red meat, like what kind of food you want, and he sets you up with that.
Okay.
But you also get like a full bottle of wine with that, as well as a room key.
Ooh, wonderful. I am going to take that wine bottle. I'm going to put it away. I'm going to put that in my inventory and just stash it away for now.
All right. All right. So, I'm assuming that you're kind of just chilling in the tavern for now.
Yes. For now, I'm just gonna kind of hang out in the Smiling Barrel. I'm gonna eat my food, and as I begin to finish it, I will actually go back up to the barkeep because I have a question for him.
Okay. You wanna ask that question now, and then we'll skip to one of the other people until you're a bit more active and all that.
Yes. So I walk back up to him after finishing my meal, kind of keeping my plate nice and a little tidy, trying to keep the silverware on it. You know, overall trying not to make too much of a mess. But as I go up to the bar again with my meal, I set the dirty plate down, put a little napkin on top of it to show that I'm done, and I say to him, "My friend, I was wondering if you might be able to perchance point me in the direction of a library or an establishment where I might be able to study or even learn something."
Oh, yeah. I think I can do that, yeah. Let's see. I buggered up his accent, but I'm not going to bother trying right now because it's actually being weird on my throat. He tells you that there is a public library in Midtown here. There is also a more exclusive library in Hightown, but probably not going to get into it. And if you're wanting bookstores, there's a couple in various locations. The closest one is literally just called the Bookworm. And it's kind of like your average all-around store. He tells you that it has a lot of books for like families and whatnot in the area. There's a lot of books for like people learning, like students, kids, young adults, and there are some for like adults in there, but it is kind of tailored more towards like people going to school.
Would you perchance know of any libraries or bookstores that might attune more to some on the more clerical side.
Sorry, on the more what?
Clerical.
Clerical, okay. That, he tells you, you would probably... It would be better to ask either a priest in town. There's not a lot in the way of temples here, but there are some shrines set up, and little stalls that various priests have set up for those who are looking for a place to worship while in town. Or checking in with one of the magic shop owners. They may have more information on that, since things more on the cleric's end would also pertain to a form of magic.
Okay, do you have any names?
Yes, let me pull up the thing if I can find it. There's Melody's Magical Menagerie. That is in Midtown. It's kind of a place that has a lot of, again, more of your everyday things, and things that people of the middle class would be able to afford. It's geared more towards that. There is a shop in Hightown that is Howard's. Oh fuck! What was the name? I just had it. I have to scroll back.
Howard's magical hotness.
Howard's Hive. It has a little bee logo. Logo. God, I can't talk today.
At the hearing of him saying Howard's Hive and describing that it's bees, you'll see my character. He'll purr very softly, and he'll say, yes, bees. I love the bestigon.
And he'll also tell you that there's a place in Lowtown that not everyone goes to. Some people avoid Lowtown just in general, but from what he understands, it's one of the best places to get the most varied magical items, but it is kind of tucked away and hard to find. So, and he doesn't actually know where it is. You'd have to find someone in Lowtown who would know.
Okay.
That one, he doesn't actually know the name of it.
Well, thank you very much again for all of your information, my friend. And I'm gonna slide another 50 silver onto the table for him. Please, for your troubles and, well, for your generosity. I appreciate you very much.
Alright, he happily takes it. Now, before I switch to someone else, I do want to ask you, out of those 3 that he gave you information on, which one is he most likely to be going to? Or checking out first, at least.
He's going to go back to Lowtown to try and find... Well, actually, no, I'm wrong. Taking this information, he's actually going to seek out a priest. He does not want to go to the bookstore just yet.
Okay. In that case, I'm going to skip to one of our other lovelies for now. We are going to go with Amara.
Hello.
Hello. So, you've been here for a few months now. You're kind of getting used to it. You've been getting your toes dipped into various pots, or fingers dipped, whatever you want to call it. You've made some connections, not a lot. You're, for the most part, kind of keeping to yourself fairly often, but you do have people you've met. You're like probably recently coming off of a job of some sort, whether it's a quest from the guards or some local who was missing their cat or whatever the case may be. But as you're kind of coming back, you're passing the notice board, which you had gotten the quest from, and you notice another sign. You've seen these a few times over the last few weeks, and you've noticed a general shift in the atmosphere of Silkwater. Another halfling child has gone missing. A plea for anyone who has seen their child gives a description, a kind of crude drawing. You can tell that the person who drew this child doesn't really know how to draw, but they put in their best effort to put in all of the features that they knew. But they're asking for help. If anyone's seen them, to please contact either the guards or this mother and father themselves and give their name and address to come contact them. And are you wanting to check the notice board at all before moving on, or?
Yes, please.
Okay. You see that there is a fairly new posting that the guards have put up for a culling of wyverns. They have been getting too aggressive lately and a bit too in abundance. They've been multiplying, and they want to just try and get rid of a lot of the aggressive ones. The more docile ones, the ones that don't immediately attack, those can be left alone. But they're looking for people to help eradicate the more aggressive ones and bring back proof that you have killed them. Other than that, there's a couple of other like missing items or people searching for various things that they need, like just little things. There's one person who's like missed connection, looking for the damsel who was very beautiful at this bar to talk to you. You were wearing pink, etc. But when we lost contact before we left last night, I don't remember your name, that sort of thing.
Oh my god.
Have a sip of my tea. Okay. So, with what you've been doing lately, and kind of coming to know that things are getting more and more tense, hearing mutters of that from people coming through from Dockside, going into Lowtown and Midtown and making their way elsewhere. You're hearing that there's been lockdowns of ships lately. There have been guards searching them, looking for something. You're not really sure, though. With the continuous missing children, you can't help but wonder if it's connected to that. With it being midday, and you having just come back from a job, what is your character likely to be doing at this point?
I just saw the notice about the wyverns on the notice board, correct?
Yes, and also the latest missing child notice.
Knowing this town a little bit more, I'm probably going to go and search for guards for more information if they've ever heard anything or seen anything like that.
Yeah, it's pretty easy to do. There's not as many guards in Lowtown or Midtown as there is in Dockside, just like milling about, but you'll find them passing on patrol, and sometimes you'll catch one or two that are like talking to people in the street who they've clearly flagged down for one reason or another. But it's easy to flag someone down. Unless you want to go to the guard post itself.
I'm probably gonna go to the actual guard post itself.
Okay. Easy enough to do. And are you going to the Lowtown or the Midtown guard post?
I'm probably gonna go to the Midtown.
Okay. So, heading over there, you find a pretty clean building. It's well maintained. It's very official looking. Head inside, and everything is in like good working order. Everyone seems to have just a smooth flow about them and how they function and work together. You can see in the back, clear view from when you enter. Jorhan Sinclair, the guard captain, is at his desk and he's going over some papers. There's a few guards milling about that are exchanging information, passing on paperwork, and you can see a couple that are getting ready to head out into the streets, just pulling on their light armor and the like before they go. Are you going to be going to specific guards, or are you going to just grab anyone there?
Did you captain was there?
Yes, you can see that the guard captain is there, as are some of his assistants.
If he doesn't look too busy, I'm probably gonna go to the captain.
Okay. Yeah, he doesn't look too busy. He's got some paperwork, but he seems to be just kind of milling about with it for the most part. And people are like interrupting him here and there, and he doesn't seem bothered by it. So approaching, you give your greeting, and he looks up and gives you a small smile and goes, "It's been a little while. Welcome back."
Thank you. How have you been doing?
Been doing just fine. About the same as always.
I got a couple of questions for you. Mainly about the Wyverns and the missing children. Have you heard anything?
Well, yes, I've heard of a fair amount, considering that we're the ones who put the notices out for them. What is it exactly that you're wanting to know?
I'm wanting to know if you have any information that is not out. Because I have the time to search for the children and to try and help with the Wyverns.
He kind of leans back a little and gives a slightly heavy breath as he looks you over. You can see he's kind of thinking in his head whether or not he actually trusts to give non-publicized information, because while you have kind of relatively gotten to know him, you've done jobs for the guards, and you've gained a little bit of trust from that. You're still relatively new. You haven't built a huge rapport with them, so he's just trying to suss you out a little bit. So I'm actually going to ask you to give me a persuasion check.
A persuasion? Damn it. Oh, that's a no.
Oh, goddamn!
Oh.
He looks you over, and for this nat one for flavoring of it, we're gonna say, since you just came back from a job, you're looking a little worse for wear. You have the collected items as proof of whatever it was that you had been dealing with. Probably some uppity wolves in the areas. They have been getting a bit more aggressive as of late, much like the Wyverns. And so you've got like a couple of wolf tails hanging from your belt right now, which are still pretty fresh and haven't been cured, so there is a little bit of bloody mess on your side, and he just finds himself staring at that for a moment, mildly distracted, and clears his throat and goes, "As much as I would love your assistance and to help you with this, unfortunately, anything not already posted on the notice is a bit more confidential."
That's understandable.
I wish I could help you more than that. Unless there's something a little less vague that you want to ask that maybe I can help you with.
No, I don't think I have any more questions or information.
All right, then.
Unfortunately. I shall see you later.
Very well. If you're looking to turn in those tails, you can head over to Millie over there. She'll process it for you.
Thank you. And with that, I'm gonna leave and I'm going to go and turn in my tails.
All right. You head over to Millie, the guard that he had motioned you towards, and you get 5 gold for the few tails that you have there, so you can add that to your inventory. And you head out. Are you going to try your luck with anyone else, or are you going to leave it there for now?
I actually would like to go to the Smiling Barrel because I do know guards tend to be there, and I would like to see if I can overhear anything at all.
All right. You make your way to the Smiling Barrel, and going in, you kind of glance around. You see there are a few guards milling about, kind of lounging at one of the tables, just shooting the shit, playing card games and the like. They all have drinks, not necessarily very strong drinks as it is midday, but just something to unwind with. You have a feeling these are probably the early morning guards, because they look like they have been up for a while. But they're chatting about. You go and find a table relatively close to them where you can try and eavesdrop. You can hear one guard complaining about his old lady and how she's been getting on his nerves lately. Another guard calls out that, well, maybe if he wasn't such a tool, his old lady would have to get on his ass and kind of bicker back and forth. You do hear some guards kind of complaining to each other about how frustrating it's been dealing with all these new issues coming up and how everything seems to be happening at once. You hear one of them ask the other, isn't one of the kids that went missing your cousin? And he replies with, well, yeah, it's my cousin's kid. It's tragic, that and all that. And he kind of rubs his brow. And it's like, unfortunately, he's not that close with the family, so he can't say that he's personally attached to the situation, but it's hard. Like, any kid missing is difficult. But also the fact that his cousin is up his ass knowing that he's a guard, trying to get him to do anything and everything when it's not realistic, is just wearing him down.
I'm just gonna walk over to the barkeep and see if I can get myself a drink and meal.
Absolutely. With it being just a drink and meal, it's not going to be very expensive. I'd say you're looking at 5 silver for the entire thing.
I'll just hand over the 5 silver.
That gets you a very nice meal. You again get option of vegetarian, meat, or fish.
I'd probably go with meat.
All right, you get a really nice hearty stew with relatively fresh, that morning baked biscuits and a side of mashed potato.
Just gonna go eat that, keep my head down, and just keep my ears perked for anything suspicious, anything new, anything weird going on.
And I would say, as you're kind of sitting down with your meal, you actually witness our tabaxi friend having come in and purchased his own meal and his night, or stay for the night at the inn and all that. So you've witnessed his presence at the moment, though you don't necessarily have a reason to approach him or the like. But you've overheard his conversations about looking for bookstores and magic shops and the like. And I'm assuming you're going to be just kind of hanging out there for now?
Yes.
Okay. then we are going to be jumping to. Let's jump to you, Sammy.
Okay.
Braylon, she. What has she been doing since this morning?
What time is it?
Right now it's about noonish.
Okay, well, she's probably escaped from her mother by now. So, like, she woke up, ate breakfast, talked to Rat, did whatever lessons her mother thought she needed to do, and did her best to sneak off. That or helped her dad.
Okay. I would say probably helping her dad would help her sneak off too, because she could go into his store, help him out, do some like day-to-day things in there, and then slip out after helping him for like an hour or so, and have free reign of what they're going to do.
Okay, yeah, that's probably what she did.
Okay. So, with you being a veteran of this this world, I don't have to necessarily lead you as much. You know Silkwater pretty well. What are you interested in doing at this moment?
I want to meet with some of the other members of the guild and see if there's any interesting jobs or things that they want to steal, or if the kids need anything.
Okay. So for that, you've been part of the guild for quite a while now, and you know things have changed over the past year. Things aren't as good as they used to be. Are you wanting to go to the guild itself, which you know has been not
No.
as comfortable? Okay.
No, I don't want to deal with him.
Okay. In that case, you're more than likely either going to the Silver Beetle Inn, or tavern rather, or you're going and hooking up with the kids in their rundown house.
I'll hook up with the kids.
Okay. You head off into Lowtown, going to the far end, to the right of this part of town, and you come across the rundown building with the little courtyard and the gate. Slipping in unseen from one of the side alleys, you give me a dexterity saving throw.
Oh, man.
You jump down from the wall, very stealthily, very slick. You have no problems. But as you stand up, you have a very hard little rock smack you in the forehead as Jenny managed to nail you with her slingshot.
Fuck, Jenny, it's me!
Oh. Well, why did you say something then?
I was busy climbing down.
Oh, well, whatever.
Not
What you doing
whatever,
here?
you could have took my eye out.
Well, whose fault would have that been?
Yours.
Nah, you didn't say anything. For all I knew, you were some god coming in to try and chase us out.
You're not supposed to shoot on sight. You're supposed to wait to see if they get too close. You can't just go shooting everything that moves.
I didn't shoot on sight. If I did, I would have pelted you while you were still on the wall.
One of these days, Jenny.
He
I
kind of
came
smirked.
I came to check on you and the others and see if everything was all right.
Things are doing okay. Little ones have been practicing their pickpocketing, and we've, thanks to you, kind of grudgingly a little bit at that. And, we've been kept fed, so thanks for that.
You're welcome. None of them have gotten caught, right?
Not lately.
Has Dari been being Have?
I mean, Dari's Dari. He's been doing his own thing. Kind of just comes by every once in a while.
All right, do you guys need anything before I go out?
No, I don't think we need any. And before she can finish, one of the windows that are slightly off its hinges, broken glass, like they have not been to this section of the city to renovate yet at all. It flies open, and a little girl with like scruffed face and pointy ears and just massive amounts of blonde curls and a buck teeth with a missing tooth on the side grins out from there and calls out that she could use some new shoes.
All right, I can definitely get that for you from my father's shop. We'll keep it just between you and me.
And the little girl nods, and
Any color you want?
instantly she's saying pink.
All right, I'll get those to you soon.
You get a big thanks from the kid, and having heard someone else asking for things, you have a rush of other kids kind of piling over her now in the window, calling out various things that they want, mostly candy.
All right. One at a time. Calm down. I'll get everything you guys need.
And Jenny kind of shakes her head and goes, "See, this is what happens. You come around and spoil them, and then they get all uppity."
Well, I mean, they're kids. They need a little spoiling every now and then. Plus, I like the thought of you having to deal with the hyper.
Fuck you.
Love you too.
Yeah.
Are you sure you don't need anything?
I'm fine.
Fuck
I don't
you.
need nothing from you.
You know, accepting my help doesn't hurt a little bit. You don't always have to be so proud.
I don't need anything. If I need something, I'll just get it myself.
All right, then. I'll send somebody with the things for the kids soon.
Sounds good. Make sure they say something so I don't have to pelt them.
Depending on who it is, I might not.
So, did
Fair
she
enough.
say whether or not you
If it's
saw me
rat,
stab
I'm
the
definitely
girl
not.
at all? You did?
Jenny actually does laugh despite herself, like she can't quite hold it in. Smiles over.
Do me a favor, hit him twice.
That's what I thought. That's what I thought I heard.
If he comes, I'll leave him in the ass for you.
Thank you. And, she's gonna head out.
All right. Where is she going to be heading next?
To the beetle.
Okay. You head to the Beetle, and it's fairly quiet in there. I mean, not a lot of people come to the Beetle that are just there to drink. It's fairly well known that it is a somewhat crooked tavern. There's people that you don't necessarily want to mess with in there. But you get greeted fairly warmly when you come in, as people there recognize you. The bartender leans across the counter and asks, "You all right there, love?"
Oh, I'm fine. I'm just trying to find something to do today.
Well, there's plenty of things that you can be doing. What sort of things are you looking to do?
What sort of things do you need done?
No, yuck.
Oh, there's a whole lot of things with that. But, what things could I have you do? Kind of ponders and taps her chin a little bit as she thinks. And a little wry smile comes across her face and goes, "You know what? I've been hearing something strange about this fancy man up in Hightown. He's got a dwarven fellow, a bit of fancy hat, kind of a fancy type himself, I guess. I think he's one of the ambassadors. I've heard something strange about him, and I've been wanting to learn a bit more. If you could look into him for me, that would be much appreciated."
Well, you know, High Town is my specialty, so I can definitely do that for you.
You see a little smirk cross her face as she nods. Well, I'll expect good news then. Or bad news. What kind of news you get?
Until then, I'd like a drink.
I suppose we can do that. She goes
You
behind
suppose,
the bar,
huh?
grabs a glass, and grabs a ale and pours it for you, and puts it in front of you. On the house, love.
Thanks. Have you seen Rat?
Not since this morning. I came in here all tizzy about something, and buggered off.
Tizzy about what?
Was something about getting kicked out. About landing on his arse. I don't really know, to be honest.
Oh. If he wasn't so slow, I wouldn't have to kick him out.
Okay, that explains a lot.
Of course he's gonna complain like that. He's so petty.
I'll never quite understand you two.
I don't really stand us either.
Right, well, you enjoy your drink, love.
I will. And she's gonna chill out and have her drink for a bit.
Alright. While you're sitting there drinking, you watch some of your fellow guildmates in the bar. And one of them leans forward over the table with his brows furrowed and says, "Have any of you lot heard about what's been going on? One of the newest children that went missing. One of ours."
She's gonna stand up and turn around. One of ours? Who?
Let me pull up my little list. Arlen Harris.
When was it the last time anybody saw Arlen? Are we sure that they're missing?
Well, we didn't think so at first. At first, we thought he was just buggering about, getting into some trouble. But haven't heard from him for just over a week now. Hasn't been caught by the guards or nothing. We've checked everywhere.
Where was the last place somebody saw him?
The last place anyone saw him... Who was it then? What? Wasn't it you, Gerald, that saw him? Old guy in the corner goes, yeah. He was off in the market, pickpocketing some of the people shopping there. Almost got caught by one fat man, and took off and out the gate to hide in the bushes, I guess. That seems to be the last time we've seen him.
Shit. I wondered why I didn't see him in the window this morning. I'm gonna go try to look for him myself.
Well, if you find him, let us know.
I will. She's gonna chug her drink real quick, and then she's gonna go.
Alright. And is she heading all the way out then, or what is she doing?
She's gonna head all the way out to the marketplace to start looking around.
Okay. So you go into the marketplace. Are you going to be, like, asking around? Are you going to be trying to look for signs? Because, again, remember, it's been more than a week since anyone's seen him.
I'm gonna look for signs and ask a few people that I know if they've seen him and describe the kid to him.
Unfortunately, everyone that you talk to, they either don't know anything about him or have seen him or know of him, but they don't really have anything else that they can add, just that they haven't seen him in a while. A lot of them didn't seem to even realize he was missing because they just aren't necessarily as in tune with the guild as you are and whatnot. More of like tangentially attached to them in passing sort of deal. Trying to find signs of him. Again, it's been a week. The market has been put up and taken down basically every day. Any signs that there might have been from him would have been minimal at most anyway, because of all he had been doing was pickpocketing and then left through one of the gates. And with that much amount of time having passed, unfortunately, you can't find anything.
I'm gonna go find Daniel.
Okay. At that point, we are going to jump to Mikhail then. Or, yeah, Mikhail? How do you pronounce this name?
Mikhail.
Mikhail, okay. So, it's about noon. You're just finishing up a lunch that was placed in front of you. The shop is cramped as usual. The proprietor has gone out on an errand and asked you to watch the shop. And it's probably the first time you've really been left alone in there. You realize that that's a pretty big sign of trust. But you also know that it could just be that she knows that you can't really go anywhere without risk of someone trying to jump you. So you're kind of stuck for the most part. For what you've been through and what you've been up to lately, and being surrounded by these magical items, these books, and everything else, is there anything that you find yourself like attracted to in this store?
I would definitely say some of the books would draw Mikhail's attention.
Okay. You kind of look over the books, and you see that they aren't so much books of like various knowledge. They are in a way, but these books that she has on display for sale are tomes that their magic will seep into you as you read them for a prolonged amount of time and will affect your body and increasing something about it. So these are basically stat increasing books that are very expensive.
Okay then. Would I find any kind of book around though that would be just about monsters or just anything about the town?
About the town, make me an investigation check. Okay. You kind of dig around while you have this chance, being left alone, just trying to sate your curiosity. And you end up going through her desk drawers and find the first thing you find is a saucy romance novel that you don't recognize it for what it is at first, and you kind of leaf through it and then see a few passages that make you realize and put it aside. But you find a handwritten journal, and opening that up and kind of poking through, you find her personal descriptions of various people and places in town that she's kind of accumulated over the years.
Just not 20 on a fucking investigation.
Things like an apothecary.
Oh, he's a -1, so he did that 20.
Well,
Gosh, my brain is just dying in the middle of saying things. The owner of an apothecary and what her personal thoughts on this person is, that they're a cheap ass, that they don't know their back end from their front, and have poor quality goods, so to not deal with them again, etc. And just little notes like that throughout. Is there any like person or thing that you kind of want to see her thoughts on?
I was typing initially and it started doing V. Uh, I would say specifically the captain, Captain Gregor.
Okay. For Captain Gregor, she doesn't have a lot on him, mostly because she doesn't really interact with him. She just puts in that he's kind of a gruff man, likable and unlikable at the same time. Doesn't really see the appeal about him that most seem to gravitate to him, and is just trying to figure out how this person, who doesn't seem to be very charismatic, is in charge of Hightown, dealing with a bunch of pompous, prissy, rich people who, usually need someone who's going to be stroking their egos more when dealing with them.
Okay. I would just close up the journal and just kind of store it away where I found it and basically make it look like I didn't find anything. And just kind of ponder around the shop more and just kind of, looking at some of the armor, some of the weapons.
Okay. So you kind of putz around a bit in the shop, and about 20 minutes pass by when the door finally opens, after being unlocked and opened, and Pink Tiefling comes in, the owner of the shop, and goes,
Oh, it is very busy out there. It's very annoying trying to get anywhere. Was everything okay? No one tried to get in while I was away?
No, nobody was even around.
Oh, excellent. You must have been very bored then. But I see you did all the sweeping. That's good. Well, if you need something to do, I have an errand that I still need done, but unfortunately I need to open the shop so that people can come in and spend their money. Otherwise, there's no point of having a shop.
No, absolutely. What is it that you need me to do?
Okay, so first of all, we are going to put this hat on you, and you know what it is. You think of what you want to thing. You'll be the thing. You know. And what I need you to do is take this note and take it up to Midtown, and go to this specific shop, and she'll writes the name of the shop on the front of the card. And I need you to be getting me about 30 grams of sacred moss, if they have any. I am very low on this, and it seems to be getting harder to get lately.
Consider it done.
Thank you very much.
she kind of pats you on the head and flounces off to sit at her chair, and as she settles in and gets ready to set things up. And as you're leaving, opening the door and stepping out, she goes,
Who moved my book?
I can't lie. I'm sorry. Once I finished cleaning, I had nothing else to do, so I was looking around.
Well, did you at least enjoy it?
and you see she's holding up the romance book.
Oh, it's a little too spicy for me.
Really? I thought it was quite tame.
Did you hear that?
When you're somebody, yeah, no, it's definitely a little too spicy
Derek was
for
running
me.
around the shop, right? He was sifting
Oh,
through
for
these
you. Oh,
pictures
I
and
see.
like
You're very.
the pink tiefling lady is like
I'm
actual
sorry.
journal. Turns out
It's quite all right. I'm gonna go and hit up the shop for you.
Perfect. Thank you very much.
Romance book. And he's
Be
like,
back in a flash.
"This is a bit too spicy for me." And she's
Right.
like, "Oh,
And you
really?"
step out of the shop, closing the door behind
She
you,
was talking
make your
about
way
it.
out of the alley that is tucked in
But
into,
instead, she
and begin
completely
making your
thought he
way
was
up
reading a
into
romance.
Midtown.
I see.
Oh, that's fucking funny.
Let me tune back in.
Is there anything that you're trying to avoid or trying to do specifically as you're going that way?
Just kind of keeping my head down and glancing at the card that she wrote on, and just specifically kind of almost beelining for the shop, but also trying to make sure that I'm not running into anybody.
Okay. What's your passive perception?
It is 13.
13. Okay. So, let me just do a quick. Okay. So, as you're heading out, you're relatively secure in the disguise that you've donned. In which case, what form did the hat of disguise that you're wearing take on for you?
So I still look human, but I have much longer brownish hair instead, and I'm kind of just wearing common clothes is what it's gonna look like, with just like normal like blue eyes, just kind of somebody who would blend in.
Okay. So, as you're going and keeping your head mostly down, you do catch a sort of familiar sound, and glancing up to your left and slightly behind, you just catch sight of someone that you sort of recognize. You've never seen any of their full faces, but you think that this might have been one of the people who had jumped you, from the shape of their cheekbones and the color of their eyes and shape of the eyelids and everything. It kind of gives you a little bit of a jolt seeing that. They don't seem to have noticed you. For one thing, you don't look like yourself. They seem to be kind of looking around.
Kind of getting that kind of glimpse, I will kind of veer a different direction, and kind of maybe ducking into like a whatever tavern or bars close to me.
Right. I would say that we'll put you, since you're in Midtown at this point, into the Smiling Barrel as well. And that's partially because you would know this as a safer place as well, being a place that guards frequent. So you duck inside. You can see there's guards milling about at the side, playing a few card games with each other, chatting over drinks and the like. There's a furball woman kind of at one of the tables, not far from them, but far away enough that it doesn't look like she's right on top of them. Across the way, you can see a tabaxi man munching on his food, looking like he's finishing up and getting ready to head out. The bartender is cleaning up the counters at the moment, and this older person who's just looking fucking run down on the right hand side, who's been eating a meal, is starting to look a bit queasy. Has just kind of stopped eating for now.
Okay. I'm gonna actually walk over to just one of the guards playing cards. Do I recognize any of these guards? Like, have I talked with any of them before?
Roll a D100. No, they don't really look that familiar. These are all like early morning crew. You're unlikely to have come across them before, as you're either working in the shop during the mornings and evenings, or sleeping, and you don't really get to leave for the most part.
Got it. I'm gonna kind of plant it in their head, or at least I'm gonna make a comment saying, I think the people that have been maybe kidnapping people or the children might be lurking about outside, just kind of with that. I'm trying to think of the words that I want to use. with just that mindset that he thinks that one of those guys were the people that were trying to jump him, and who knows what they were wanting.
Now, are you saying this directly to them?
Yes.
Okay. You get like an immediate reaction. The people at this table all look up at you, kind of surprised and a little alarmed, and one of them stands up, hands on the table immediately. He goes, "You sure? You think you think you know who's been doing this? You think they're outside right now?"
It's hard to explain, but without giving away too much, I think one of them tried to take me a while back, or something. I don't know. So I would that'd be my best guess, my best judgment.
And you said you look human currently, right?
Yes.
They kind of look you over a bit, and then shoulders sag, and the person who had stood up shakes his head and put his fingers at his temple. Goes, if they tried to take you, it's not them. That's all of the people who've been going missing. They're all children, and they're all half-elves.
Something along those lines.
Yeah, but you being, I mean, you inherently
Aye,
wouldn't matter inherently about you because there wouldn't be you.
Well then, at least something's out there, that's besides, stealing children. Unfortunately, it's not the one I was hoping to help you find.
If mentioning you would have an impact.
Still, you said that there was someone out there who jumped you.
Yeah, I mean, he definitely looks somewhat familiar. I ducked into a shop to try to lose him, but he definitely has the same body type and facial structure.
Kind of nod at that, and the one who's been talking to you turns his head to one of the others and jerks it towards the door, telling him to go check it out. And the guy groans and like leans his head back, complaining that he's off duty. And the other guy chimes in that they all fucking are, you nitwit. So just go do it. It'll take just a couple minutes, and you can come back. But he gets you to give a description of the person so that they can go check it out.
Irritate him.
Got it. Do you want me to give a description or just kind of
You
keep?
can just say that you give a description to the best of your memory of what you've seen.
So, he's about my height, which is has like a square jaw. He, like I said, he's wearing a hood, so it's a little harder to kind of see like his hair and his eyes, but he's definitely just in the market over there. And then after I give the description, I'm gonna kind of step out of the way, let them go do their thing, and then I'm gonna sneak back out of the bar and head towards where I was going.
Okay. So two of the guards head out to go check on this potential kidnapper, mugger person, attacker of some sort that's been described to them.
Can you
Just to see, since you didn't even see.
Did he just call the police on these people?
Whether or not
Is that
this
who he's
is
talking to? Is this the guard?
Talking to guards.
a
That's what I
potentially
thought.
actual,
He said, "Yo, I got jobs. Go find these people."
or if it's just a case of mistaken identity.
Interesting. All right. Okay.
Things are starting off a little
And
spicy.
you head out, make your way to the shop, and they do indeed have some sacred moss. And handing over the note to them, they
Sacred moss.
give you a pouch of it, as well as a small box that has the coin amount for it. And you can see the pouch has a key, like a keyhole to it. Even though it's a cloth bag, there is an actual locking mechanism of sorts. Like, you even try and open it a little, and it's just, you cannot at all.
All right then. So why does this have a lock on it? Is something in here that's going to, cause me a problem on the way back?
No, it's just Sekramos is fucking expensive, and if she wants it without coming and paying directly, she can get the key from that box after it's been paid properly.
I will let her know.
He just kind of nods and shoos you off.
Fuck
I
outta
will-
here.
Head back to the shop as fast as I can.
As fast as you can. That might
Right.
cost.
You make your way back, and while you're there, after you've returned and handed over the items and explained what he had just told you, she tells you that she has another errand for you, a delivery this time around, to the what is it? The Sea Spirits. It's a tavern in Dockside that she has a customer there who has put in an order and wants it delivered to them.
Keep your head down.
All right then. I will take the package
Yeah, these
and
wyverns are starting to become a little prevalent.
get this done as soon as I possibly can. Is there anything else I can do for you while I'm out?
Not as far as I can think of at the moment. If anything comes up, I'll send you a message.
Sounds good. Be back in a jip.
Okay. Now, jumping back to you lot. We have Calypso and we have Timur in the bar.
Yes.
And Rillin, you were still in the marketplace exploring, I think, at the moment, weren't you?
Yeah, but I was heading to find Daniel.
That's right. Okay. Let's see. Let's go with you trying to find Daniel for now. Mostly because we have a clear goal that you have set out. So, Rillin makes her way back to Lowtown, heads to the guard outpost, and Daniel is there. He's looking a little haggard at the moment. He's issuing orders of who goes where. Seems to be cursing at this schedule that was improperly done. He has no one to blame but himself, but he's frustrated over it. And his back is to you, doesn't seem to notice you coming up because he's
Timur.
just focused on the task at hand.
I'm gonna pickpocket him.
Oh my god.
Roll sleight of hand.
What the fuck? Hey! Yo! Hold on.
Oh my god!
That's a fucking 25.
Damn!
Hey,
Holy
you
shit!
successfully pickpocket him.
That is a
Are you going for his actual
25.
pockets or
19.
something in any like pouches on his side? Or what?
Oh my god. Oh, this is about to be.
I'll
this
be
is
nice and
actually
pouch on the
about
side.
to be Fucked.
Okay. You
God
steal
damn.
about 10 silver and 5 gold.
Oh my god, this bitch
Sweet, I'm
just
gonna pocket
robbed
that,
somebody.
and
oh my god!
Then I'm gonna smack him on the ass.
And an ass
Oh my
smack.
god.
Jumps, curses, and as he's turning, starts to cuss out whoever had like dumbass had decided to do that, but it sees you and he goes, "Oh, it's a pretty lady who did it. Never mind then. What can I do for you?"
Damn.
I need to know what you know about the missing children.
What I know about the missing children. Not a lot. I know that they're missing. I know that they're children. I know that they're half elf.
You have to know more than
Sounds
that.
about right.
Pretty much.
Look, I do know a little bit more, but not much. The thing is, that's a major problem. We don't know what the fuck is going on.
I
There's
know, but
no
one
sign
of our kids have gone missing. Okay? It's personal now, and
Oh,
I need to find him.
He curses softly under his breath and runs his hand through his hair as he realizes, yeah, one of your guys' kids going missing is going to cause him way more headaches than he would like. And he sighs. And he tells you that, unfortunately, no one really knows what's going on. There has been no signs of struggles or anything. There's been no strange behaviors. No one has seen these kids with anyone else. Like, there's been no sightings of some strange man or woman with these kids leading them off anywhere. These kids are just seemingly there. They wander off and then they're just gone. There has been some assumptions that the only way that this is really possible of getting them this, like, to have them just disappear this thoroughly is if someone is very carefully smuggling them out. And he tells you that at first there had been suspicion that the Thieves Guild might have been part of it, though it's not really their MO, and he personally never really bought that. But things have been weird with the guild the past while. Things have been changing in town. But the latest theory is that someone is taking these kids on a ship and sailing off with them, because there is no other explanation that the people in town have been able to come up with.
So, dockside, that's at least somewhere to start.
I'd start there. I'd suggest going to the Sea Spirit. That's probably where you'll hear the most information. In fact, I'm gonna be heading there in about 20 minutes. If you want to check around elsewhere for now, you can meet me there later.
All right, and she's gonna pull the pouch out and kind of spin it around her finger.
Oh, it's a game.
She's gonna what? I couldn't quite make that out.
She's gonna take the pouch and just spin it around and say, "Thanks for this."
Oh, come on! That was my lunch.
10 gold.
It's not my fault you don't pay attention.
That's crazy.
It was silver.
I'm gonna
and
get you one of these days. You
Yeah,
know
it
that,
was
right?
10 silver and
I mean, again, I have gotten you before. I've had you locked up in my cell before.
But you've never kept me.
Spicy.
Fair enough.
She's gonna toss it back at him.
So it is.
Catches it and gives you a little nod of thanks.
You know I don't need it.
Yeah, you really don't. I fucking do.
Oh,
I'll
damn.
see you at the
You
tavern.
know, I fucking do.
Alright, see you later then.
Okay.
She's gonna head out.
We have a complicated
So-
relationship.
Yep.
Head out
Yep.
and make your way along town. I'm gonna give a kind of an executive decision, and as you're heading around asking people about things, you do hear someone say that there have been more talk at the Smiling Barrel, but you don't
Shit.
necessarily know if that's
Here we
talk
go.
from
So is Mikhail at
someone
Smiling
else,
Barrel
or
as well?
if that was from you earlier, or what.
Actually fully hear
I
that.
thought
Like,
he
he
said
did
he was
walk
on
in
his
and
way.
talk to a bunch of guards that were off.
Yeah.
All right, I'm gonna go to the Smiling Barrel.
That he's at the Smiling Barrel.
You make your way there, and once again we have our Furball, we have our Tabaxi.
I thought she
we
said
have,
furball. I
not
was
all
like,
of them, as you
hey,
had seen
fuck you.
earlier, but most of them, and there is a older-looking person, very worn out, now very green among the gills, who the bartender is trying to shoo out before they vomit on the floor.
That ain't me though.
Do you want me to
Ew.
just throw him out?
She's gonna wrinkle her nose and kind of move away from the door just in case. And her being her, she's going to call out, "Has anybody heard anything about the missing children?"
Interesting.
The guards at the table kind of shake their heads a bit. And goes, "What's with everyone asking about that today, or suggesting things? I just want to eat my fucking food." Another one smacks him over the top of the head and says, "Take this seriously." There's a shake the head, and someone calls out just that there's been a new one posted just today, but they can't give much more information than that.
Well, there might be another one. But it's one of the orphans. So.
The table kind of goes silent there, and the guards look at each other. Oh, one of them curses again. Just. Right. Well, more to add to the plate then.
What's the oldest kid that got taken? Like, do you know?
The oldest among the children, you're told.
Oh
was 15
no!
years old.
Oh
Most of
no!
them
God
were,
damn it!
Like
Fuck!
6 and 10.
Ah! I can't believe
And
this.
all half elves.
Oh no!
Yes, all of them were half elves.
Oh, son of a bitch! Son of a bitch!
No.
So I have a question.
Yes.
I'm in the Smiling Barrel, correct?
Yes, you are here. You're able to hear this conversation.
I'm going to get up from the stool that I'm sitting at the bar, and Relina, how do I say your name?
Rylan.
Rylan. Okay, what you see stand up is about 5'10", athletically built tabaxi. On the slender side, but my clothes are form-fitting, so you can tell that the basic leather trousers and boots I wear, well, I don't wear boots, of course. They're just foot wrappings around my ankle. You can see that they're relatively worn from weather. Looks like as if they're just recently getting dry. Standing up, you also see my long gray robes, satchel across my chest that leads down to a handbag. You see my fur. It looks worn, almost kind of like it's sun bleached. The gray is becoming a little bit whiter. The whiteness and the black undertones of my fur seem to be kind of highlighted, and you can tell that I have like I've been out in the sun a little bit too long. I kind of like rub my eyes, and I stand up and I turn. I notice the guards talking, and I kind of get about like 10 feet away from you, kind of like taking a second to sit at another table or something, to kind of make eye contact with you. But you can tell I'm exhausted. I don't want to stand. And I say to you, I hear that there is something about missing children. That's not very good to hear. Might I ask you, how long ago did you find out that these children have been gone missing?
Well, I don't know about the other children, but the one I'm looking for has been gone for a week.
An entire 10 days. I am so sorry to hear it for you. Unfortunately, I do wish you the best of luck, and if I do hear something, I will do my best to try and get you this information. I stick I bow my head towards you. I am Timur. I am rather new here, but I can see there are quite a lot of characters here, such as yourself. But of course, you are not like others. You're very different. So, if I hear anything or if I see anything, I will let you know. It breaks my heart to hear that small children are going missing.
God fucking damn it.
Yeah, it's not been. It's
Fuck me.
been pretty bad, and it's weird because they're all half elves. But if you do hear anything, just I'm gonna be down at the Sea Spirit Tavern down at Dockside. So you can find me there.
Ugh, so close to the sea. But of course, if I find anything out, I'll make my way there.
Okay, thank you.
And with that, I get back. I stand up and I begin to head out the door.
Oh, and my name's Rylan, by the way.
Oh, Rylan. Nice to meet you, ma'am.
Yeah, what the fuck?
And then I continue my way out.
God damn it! Oh, fuck!
As you're leaving, one of the guards has been looking really thoughtful since we posed
You wanna
your
know my thought
question
process?
about like how long they've been
I
missing.
was stolen as a kid and put into a
One
cult!
of them,
And these
the one
kids
that's
are
been
going
sitting there
missing?
quietly thinking.
Like, my character
No,
don't like that!
Cat follows. Just let me think of something.
Fuck!
first kid went missing on
Son of a bitch.
the night of
Fucking
day of
cunt.
the Black Sun.
That makes me so unhappy.
After that, that's when periodically they started popping up missing.
Ryland's gonna give a little bit of a shiver about the Black Sun. The first one went missing during the Black Sun?
Yeah, that was the youngest of them. Let's pull up the thing. You are told that, where is it? Salin Plante, or Plant? I can't remember how to pronounce that. A little girl was a 5-year-old.
Oh my god.
She was reported missing the day after the day of the Black Sun. Her parents had been looking for her basically all that evening and well into the morning and could not find her, and they finally reported her after the Black Sun had vanished.
Yeah, me too.
Thank you. That's interesting to know.
Out of character, I have a quick question.
Yes.
I did just look at the job board and I saw a notice of another missing child. Do I have a lot of information on that? Do I have relatively all the details that was on the board itself?
Yes. You having checked the job board so frequently would know that all the children have gone missing just like during a point of time when they were just playing, where they was just having a chill time, basically. Each one had a toy with them. So the latest one, which I'm trying to remember which one it was the latest one. Arlen Harris was about over a week. Salem Plungeaway was the first. I believe it was Hammond Farley was supposed to be the most recent one. He had been playing with a spinning top, is what his parents had said. It's his favorite toy, and he decided to take it out of their home and just see like how long it could spin on different surfaces. So he was basically just playing around the town, just running around being a nuisance, and finding new places to spin his top to see if it would stay in place and how long he could keep it up. And he didn't come home.
Okay, how do you pronounce your name again? Rylan?
Yes.
Okay, going back into character. Rylan, is it? I did notice something with each of the children. I'm not sure if you figured out or not. Each of the children were playing with the toy when they either disappeared or were taken. Did your child have a favorite toy at all? And have you seen it? Or did it just disappear as well?
You would know, Rylan, that Arlen Harris carried around a bag of marbles with him everywhere.
Actually, yeah, he had marbles that he took everywhere with him.
Do you have any other information about this? I am currently in the process of trying to gather more.
Actually, I'm supposed to go down to the Sea Spirit, and there's supposed to be more information down there if you would like to come along.
I am willing, but you're going to notice that I don't exactly like going to that side of town. But I am willing to go, because we children going missing is not a good thing.
No, it's not. Are you some kind of bounty hunter, or you said job?
I wouldn't exactly say that. I'm gonna keep my backstory as of this moment a little bit more private, if you will.
All right, just come with me. I could use all the help I could get. I really need to find him.
Fantastic. I will definitely join you. I'm just gonna be keeping my head low around those areas.
Keep your head low and make sure you keep your hands in your pockets.
Oh, I am well aware. And with that, I am just going to follow Rylan then.
All right. You guys slowly begin to making your way down there. For Timur, we're probably going to cut back to you since you're the odd man out of heading to the Sea Spirit to follow what you're doing.
Alrighty. So as I head out, being the first one to leave, the first thing I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna take a nice look around and see if I can see a priest, a cleric, or maybe somebody of cloth, of holy cloth, that might be walking around town, or maybe just in general out and about.
Okay. You do see a few people who look like they might be clerics or paladins. They're kind of few and far between. You do have to like walk a bit to see them. But you do catch sight of some. There are quite a few different holy symbols that you're seeing, like a very mixed bag of them. Are you looking for just any cleric, or are you looking for a cleric of... Okay.
Just anybody.
Okay. Roll me a d20.
I saw 20, I got excited. 14.
Okay, and let me just see what that lines up with.
She's currently like, fuck, who do I pull into this? Do I win $1 million?
Maybe.
My guess is no.
Damn it.
You, coming up behind one of these clerics, you can see the golden robes with white and whatnot, sun-kissed skin. You see them from the back at first, so you don't get more than that, but when you tap them on the shoulder to get their attention, they turn and you realize that you actually recognize the symbol and the style of
Hell no.
dress that they're wearing.
Fuck no.
This is a priest of Ira, the Sun Serpent.
Okay.
That's a god that is really only worshipped on the southern continent.
Okay. Well, I want to start out by saying, excuse me there, my clerical friend.
Yes, what can I help you with?
I am so sorry to bother you today, as you may be busy, but I was wondering if you might be able to point me in the direction of maybe a place of teachings or a store of sorts that might have some tomes of clerical knowledge. A bit about just general gods.
I'm afraid I have not been in the city for very long, but I have seen there was a shop down the way here, and he points down the road that I saw. It seemed to be maybe a library, maybe a bookstore. They certainly had a lot of books in the window.
Okay. And by chance, is there a sign or some signification as to know that I am in the right place, besides the books in the windows, of course.
The sign had a butterfly on it. It was quite impressively carved, actually. It was quite pretty, painted, gilded, and all that. But did not have any words. It kind of reminded me of home, actually. Hearing that, you would kind of gauge that this guy is probably from Agba, which is a city in the Devil's Sea, which is a desert on the continent. And from what you understand, their signages very rarely have any words on them. It's usually just symbols indicating what kind of store it is.
Gotcha. Okay. Then I will say to him, thank you for your information. I appreciate it very much. But I do have one more question for you.
Of course. What can I help you with?
You say you have not been in town for a very long time. I would assume maybe less than a week's time, yes?
Yes, it has only been about 4 days since I arrived.
Ah, I see. Well, I was wondering if you had heard any of these rumors about missing children? The half-elven variety, perchance?
I actually did hear something about this. There was a woman who was asking priests of any sort who might be able to help them with reaching out to the gods to help. She came across me in my wanderings, and I did what I could. Unfortunately, Ira's sight does not extend this far. There are very few believers of him here, followers, so his power is very weak here, and I was not able to see much for them. But I did see a shadow. It was a vision. I don't know if it was literal or metaphorical. But I saw a vision of a child taking the hand of a shadow and walking off. That's all I saw.
Interesting. You say you do not know if perchance it was illusion or maybe just a happenstance. Well, I'm very, very sorry to hear that it's caused some confusion. A weird question. I know that I'm probably rambling on a bit, but have you by chance been feeling a bit different lately, be it either in mind, spirit, or even body?
Well, I have felt different since arriving here, but I assumed that was because of distance from my god. As I said, his eyes do not reach this far. He is bound to our lands. So I assumed it was because his power wanes at the moment.
And then I would like to, because I would like to cast Detect Magic at Will, and I'm looking to see if any sort of... I'm not looking for magic items. I'm not looking to see if he has like a sort of thing. I want to know if there's maybe some sort of transmutation or illusion magic that might be on his person.
Okay. So casting this, you do have magic lighting up all over him. Not so much as in like magical items on him, but more like there's an innate magic that seems to be kind of radiating from him. But you don't see anything that's illusionary in nature, and nothing that's like transmogrification or the like. He seems to be himself. He doesn't seem to be holding up any illusions. He doesn't seem to be under the effect of any.
Okay.
That you can tell with this type of magic, anyway.
Okay. And as my eyes glow a very soft purple, I kind of just blink at him a couple of times, just quick glances, and I look at him and I say,
Ah, yes, my friend. I do understand. The powers of the clerical, so it's arcane. It does seem to wane a bit in this area. Even I do feel as if I am, how you say, displaced in my spirit and mind. But I do hope that you are able to find some sort of comfort soon. I hear that there are a few shrines here, and I might even find myself finding my own god that might be well established here. But I thank you very much again for the information, and I appreciate your time.
You're very welcome. It's just sorry that I couldn't be of more help to you. If you need any assistance, or if you're in need of your soul or wounds healed, I am staying at the. One sec. Oh, he tells you that he is staying at the Rusty Inn in Hightown.
Oh. Ah, the Rusty Inn. Well, if I find myself needing some of your clerical help, I will make sure that I meander my way over there. Thank you again, and I wish you the best of luck, and I hope you recuperate from your uneasiness soon.
Thank you very much, and I hope you find what you were looking for.
Yeah, thank you. God bless you, my friend. And then I walk away.
He nods and gives a blessing of may Ira's light shine upon you.
Oh yeah. He doesn't notice it, but like my character shudders a little bit, a little discomfort, but I kind of like play it off as if like I'm like fixing a knot in my hair or like a quick little sneeze. But then I walk away, and the next thing I'm going to do is going to be something interesting. I am going to look. I want to roll a perception check to see, because I'm in Midtown, correct?
Yes, currently.
I want to see if I can see anything around me that looks. Oh no, that sounds a little too vague. I am looking specifically for somebody who might be wearing a leather set of armor, either carrying a set of blades or a bow nearby that may or may not be donning a hood. Or, if none of that criteria meets, I'm looking for an elf.
Okay. Well, there are plenty of elves around. There are what looks to be various types of mercenaries or adventurers and whatnot that potentially could fulfill those criteria.
I'm looking for somebody shady. Somebody like purposely trying to stay not in the limelight. So like someone who's trying to be inconspicuous.
Okay. For Midtown, you're not likely to find that. Roll me a percentage dice or a D100.
What are the odds,
See
baby?
if,
What are the
you
odds?
happen
Not
to
at
see
all!
somewhere.
Yikers.
Unfortunately, it seems to be mostly housewives in the area, people going about doing their shopping. You see families around. This doesn't seem to be an area that has much in the way of shady customers.
Okay. Then the next thing I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go ask the nearest guard where the orphanages can be found.
Alright, you head and talk to one of the guards. There is an orphanage in Midtown. It's down the road. It's I don't actually have a name for an orphanage here because I never needed one previously. But we'll just say it's the orphanage for now.
Okay. I'm gonna head to the orphanage.
Okay. You make your way there after being directed, and I assume you head inside looking for staff members.
Yep, I'm gonna look for the proprietor of this area.
Okay. You're directed by some of the caretakers to the head office where the headmistress of the orphanage is. She's a bit of a rotund woman, high bun, hair starting to go a bit gray. Seems friendly enough. She's just kind of relaxing at her desk at the moment, and at hearing you knocking, calls for you to come in.
I walk in and I bow very graciously and I say to her, hello there, ma'am. I come to find you specifically, not about adoption, although I will say the children around here are very well kept, but I am actually wondering if I might have some information about some of the children.
I don't quite know what you mean. Some information about our children?
Yes. Well, you see, I've heard many rumors of children gone missing, and I was wondering if you could tell me either between your orphanage or others that may be in Silkwater, how many of these children that might have gone missing were from either your orphanage or the other ones.
Oh, I see. Well, we are the only orphanage within Silkwater. The next nearest one would be across the borders in the Eastern Kingdoms, in Ferrand. As for orphans that went missing with us, we have not had any children go missing from our establishment.
Interesting. I see, but that is good to hear, of course. It's very unfortunate for those that have gone missing. But thank you. I also was wondering if are there any strange happenstances with the children? Do you have any concerns for any of the children, either based off of how they hold themselves, or maybe even the activities that they might be dawdling in?
She kind of pauses for a moment and looks you over. It's clear from her expression, like the very initial one, that your question actually did trigger a thought in her head, but now she's kind of staring at you because she is a protector of these kids.
Okay.
You're a stranger who just came in, and she goes, may I ask what it is exactly that you're interested in? What's brought you here questioning about our children?
Well, you see, I once knew a bit about the orphans and the lives that they were forced into, either the past that they were grown into, or even the circumstances that caused them to be orphans. So I have a bit of personal experience with that, and so my heart goes out to them. And one of the things that is very common is that sometimes these children can be swayed by nefarious acts or things that might give promise of a better opportunity in life. And as someone with a personal connection to the experience, I come from a clerical background. It is very common to take care of the young and the weak, or those that cannot fend for themselves, be it in healing properties, teaching, or even in self-defense. And so I travel here and there, and I try to keep a general eye on the young ones, you see, and I like to make sure that if any nefarious things have been going on with children, that I make it my business to help, to try to bring a stop to any nefarious, because the children, they are young, they are malleable minds, but they're so innocent, and to see them tainted by a dark sword or anybody who might want to hurt them, it hurts my heart.
Oh, I see. I didn't realize you were a cleric then. Roll me persuasion at advantage.
Oh, shit! Oh, shit! What does an 11 get me?
It actually succeeds because the DC was 10.
Fuck yeah, baby.
Yeah.
You just had to not be under 10, and it would work because you were very convincing to her.
Fantastic.
Yeah, now that she is under the impression that you are a wandering cleric seeking to help the children, she seems to be more amenable. She's still not like super gung ho. She's still a little cagey, but she's
Right.
more open and welcoming about it. So she does tell you that there is one thing. The children here, there's very few that are under the age of like 10. So most of them have generally grown out of imaginary friends and the like. But just
That's fucked. That's
starting the
stupid.
last couple of days, one of her wards has started talking like they're experiencing imaginary friend again, and has been kind of acting like it a bit, and seems to be a little bit more distracted than they normally are. She's always known this child to be a very bright and like attentive kid.
Okay. I ask her. Oh, interesting. And is it something that you are worried about? Because as you say, many of them don't believe in, fairy tales or not fairy tales, but make-believe friends and the sort. Is it something that it gives you suspicion?
I haven't had any suspicion, no, but I have been a little concerned.
But-
As I say, they are a very bright and rather focused child, and their mind has been wandering, and they haven't been listening very well as of late, and talking to themselves. Just it's out of character, and I thought maybe they were coming down with something, but
I
maybe
see.
it's more.
You see that I like kind of stroke my whiskers a little bit, just very softly, and then I say to her,
You say they are bright. May I assume that they are well taught in reading, writing, or even scriptures?
Oh, yeah. Yes, they came to us from a very well-to-do household. The poor thing had no family aside from
Mm.
their parents in town, and we couldn't find anyone across the borders that was related to them. It's unfortunately still looking, but they came to us at an age where they had already learned most of that. They already learned the letters and then the numbers, and were able to read quite well and even write quite well as well.
Well, you say that they had family in the town. Were they forcefully orphans? Did they not have parents, or maybe it was distant relatives that couldn't take care of them?
Well, no, as I said, we couldn't find any relatives in town.
I see. I
Haven't been able
missed
to
that.
find any. Yes, we haven't found any across the borders yet. It's the Grizzly matter. Their parents were murdered, unfortunately.
That is very unfortunate to hear. And I am glad that you are doing very well by these children and making sure that they are safe and well taken care of. If you don't mind, if I may personally interject myself, may I speak with this child? Maybe see if I can't learn a bit more about what might be distracting them, perchance.
As long as one of the caretakers can be supervising, I don't see why not.
Well, in fact, I would actually prefer to have a caretaker in my midst, as to make sure that the child feels comfort, as well as so that I don't misconstrue myself or come off as maybe as opposing, or maybe as if I'm scary. You know how kids can be with their imagination, and I'm not sure if I've seen many of my kind around here, but I know that we can be a tad bit rare.
Well, I can assure you that tabaxi tend to be quite welcome here, in fact, especially by children.
At this, my ears will perk up, and my tail will kind of like flicker happily. Oh, well, that's good to hear. So if you don't mind, could I perchance seek audience with this child?
Of course, I will have someone come and fetch them, and she'll get up and calls for one of her staff from outside of the room, and asks them to go and grab this child and meet you in a separate room that you can have a little audience in with.
Okay, and so I will head out as soon as the caretaker tells me, okay, come meet the child and get ready to talk to him.
Yeah, you are brought into the room, and you can see a fairly young, looks about maybe 11, half elven kid there. You can't immediately tell if it's a girl or a boy. They're like a lot of elves and half elves, especially as children, fairly androgynous, and they aren't wearing anything that seems overly masculine or feminine.
Elves.
Okay,
Elves.
okay. So I will greet the child and say, hello there, young one. I am Timur. I am Egreric from distant lands. I hear that you are a very bright one, that you are taught very well, and that you have good teachings in both the numbers and the scriptures.
That's right.
Well, I was actually wondering if you, by chance, had a particular faith or belief that you have in place.
You mean like a god that I worship?
Maybe a god, but why not a cause? Maybe you have a hero that you particularly like, or maybe a warrior that you like. Anything of that nature. Something that puts a little kick in your step. Something that makes you excited.
This kid's eyes shine a little bit as they do look a little more excited, and he tells you that looks up to the lord of this town, Lord Braxton. He is known to be a very strong warrior, someone to look up to. He's a leader. He takes care of everyone, and he's someone who has. There's a lot of tales about him of how he's protected this town, and his family has for generations. Him and his family.
Lord Braxton. Yes, I've heard quite a lot about him in my times. He is a great warrior, very stoic, always able to defeat any foe in one swell swoop. I must ask you, what kind of things interest in you? You say this hero. Do you perchance maybe want to be like them, or maybe you might even want to grow up one day to be a hero of your own kind?
He looks a bit excited and nods and says that he'd like to be like Arthur Braxton, and he excitedly tells you he even has his own sword, which he asks if he can go get to show, and caretaker says okay, just be back very quickly, and he runs out of the room, and comes back a few minutes later holding a toy wooden sword that he brandishes and swishes around the air to show you excitedly.
You handled that so well. It's like it was made for you. It's wonderful to hear. So I just, if you don't mind, I would like to continue talking about your hero. Have you had thought of any opportunities to be trained by someone of his notoriety, or maybe you have some interest in joining a guild of what do you call them, mercenaries or knights of sorts?
He kind of thinks about it and shakes his head and says that there's not really any knights. Like, he would love to be a knight, but there aren't really any knights here, and they're all in the east, and his papa always told him that he should never go to these because it's bad for him, that they would be mean, so he couldn't be a knight there. And he starts kind of trailing off a little bit and is looking like he's almost forgetting what he was saying, getting distracted, and within 30 seconds at most, he's just staring out the window in the room, just kind of almost glazed eyes.
Okay, and I let the silence sit for just a moment. I glance over at the caretaker to kind of see their general reaction to the child before I point my attention back to the child. I'm actually going to walk up to the child, assuming that I'm a good 5 or 6 feet away. I want to walk over to like a foot away from it being in front of them, and I kind of just want to like put my tail on their shoulder, just like softly just tap them a little bit, and I want to say, "Is something on your mind?"
You see the combination of your voice and also the touch of a soft fur tapping and whatnot manages to kind of startle them back into the present, and he blinks a few times and looks up at you and goes, "What? Huh? Oh, no, I was just thinking."
Well, you know what I see in front of me. I see someone who has great potential, someone who wants something, someone who has a dream, and I too have a dream, to one day have as much knowledge as all of the books can hold. And I've actually started a little bit of a collection myself, and so I want to tell you, child, do not give up on your dreams. I may not know who your father is, and I do not want to speak against them, for I respect any adult, and I respect parents the most, as they are willing to take a child and bring him into life, to give a lineage to themselves, and I am sure that your father would be proud of you for wanting to be a stoic knight. I don't want you to give up that fight though. I want you to go out and chase your dreams. Become the most valiant hero. So valiant and so strong that even Lord Braxton himself might even wish to have your audience.
Kind of smiles at that and nods, but you can see like ever since he started staring out the window, seems a little bit off now. Like he's listening, but it's almost like it's not fully registering in his head. But he's smiling and nodding and says thanks and all that. But then he turns.
I want to use my medallion of thoughts.
Okay.
What the fuck is this kid thinking?
Okay. Now, Medallion of Thoughts lets you cast the spell. If I remember correctly.
Yeah, it lets me cast Detect Thoughts. And the kid has to make a spell save DC of 13.
Okay. And I'm just gonna check what is, if the Detect Thoughts is what I think it is.
Yeah, I initially learned the surface thoughts and what is most on its mind in that moment. I can shift my attention to another creature's thoughts or attempt to probe deeper into the same creature's mind. But if I probe deeper, they have to make a wisdom. They have to make a wisdom saving throw. So I just want to know what's initially on their mind.
So the initial thoughts on this kid's mind are strangely a little hard to read. Even though you're using this magic, it's almost fuzzy. Like you're hearing it, but there's almost like a soft static over it. And it's more like a feeling and an urge that he has on his mind than coherent thoughts. And right now, the surface thoughts are just like basically that he wants to be outside. He wants to go play. He wants to like as neat as.
Nah, I'm fucking digging deeper.
Okay. So he needs to make a wisdom saving throw.
Yeah,
He
bitch.
is a peasant child, so he would not have any thing. So I'm just gonna roll a d20 for him, and I'll do it in the open.
Oh fuck! Okay. Got a thick mind.
She said he was smart.
Yeah, no,
Rip.
that's fair. That is completely fair.
Actually, roll me a d100 real quick, because thinking about it, in his current state, he's getting a disadvantage. If you got like under 50, I was gonna say 19 holds, but we'll see if the disadvantage does anything. Oh, okay, yeah, you do.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay. Probing deeper, it's a lot of the same, but it's almost more urgent. Like, need to go. I want to go.
Okay.
I think I should be over there.
So
Yeah.
I say to the kid, "You look like you would rather be outside. Would you like to go outside and play? Maybe we could go and adventure, see what is the town has to offer. Maybe,
yeah,
maybe you could
I
show
wanna
me.
go outside. That'd be great.
You could show me your favorite spots. Maybe some cool places to hide, or even some cool places to play."
Yeah, that sounds great. I'd love to go outside right now.
And I turn to the caretaker and I say to them, "Would you mind if I, keep an eye on the child for a while and go out and to play around with him?"
The caretaker looks a little uncertain and says that as long as the headmistress okays it, it should be fine. So she excuses herself to go speak to the headmistress and find out whether it's okay for you to escort this kid around.
Okay.
So you are left alone with the child for like about a minute if there's anything you want to say or do before they come back.
Yeah, I want to look at the kid, and before the adult comes back, I want to say to them, "Have you heard anything about the kid running away lately?"
No?
Okay, I'm just wondering. It's not like I see many kids around here, so I assume that they were either with their families or in the orphanage or in school. And I don't know. Thought there might be
Kind of nods.
some cool things maybe out and about town.
Kind of nods at that and pauses and goes, "Well,
Uh-oh.
there are the junkyard kids.
Oh, the junkyard kids.
It's not really. They're not at the junkyard, but it's what we call them. They didn't like being in the orphanage, or they had bad adoptions and decided they didn't want to be here, so they left, and now they're somewhere else in town."
Are they nice children at least? Are they friendly perchance?
Some of them. Some of them were mean.
No, are there any that are particularly mean to you?
Oh shit! I think his name was Corbin.
Corbin?
Yeah, I think that's. I would have to dig through my notes. Those are old ass notes, so I'm just gonna say his name is Corbin now, whatever it was before. He tells you about this young teen who decided he had had enough and took off. Blonde kid, and he was always a bit of an ass. You do notice that the more you talk to him about things like that, of things that he's connected to, or things that he has to really dig into his mind to pull out details, it does seem to kind of almost ground him, like he seems to be more present with you.
Okay, like the fuzziness is going away. Interesting.
Yeah,
Okay.
and you can hear a bit more coherent thoughts, less feelings of like needing to be somewhere, and more like on Corbin. And with the surface thoughts, you hear, you can hear basically that this guy, like, he protected kids. He was someone who was kind of a leader and did his best for the kids, but he was also an ass, and he could be a bit of a bully when he wanted to be.
Okay, and with that, I will tell him again. Well, I'm so sorry to hear that. It is a bit rough to you, but I assure you that in my presence, I'll keep you safe.
Okay. And it's about that time when the caretaker comes back, and she informs you that the headmistress said that
Morning.
as long as you guys stay within eyeshot of the orphanage, it's fine. But anything beyond that, she cannot allow.
Say that one more time.
As long as you stay within eyeshot of the orphanage, it's fine. But anything beyond that, she cannot allow.
Okay, give me 1 second. See, I knew this was gonna fucking happen. I knew your dad was gonna say something about it.
I'm just gonna end up pushing it forward to now, because I'm gonna go be and then I'm just gonna fucking follow.
Okay. Do you want me to say anything? Like,
Give me a second, I'll come back and I'll say something.
okay. Okay, sorry about that. You may continue.
Okay. So yeah, are you okay with it just being nearby, or are you gonna kind of forego it because you can't take him however far he wants to go or whatnot?
I am completely fine with continuing. I will go ahead and go as far as we can.
Okay. So yeah, you take him outside. He first kind of going into the backyard of this orphanage. It's a small grassed enclosure that's behind the orphanage itself, tucked away between other buildings. And he kind of starts showing you some of his moves and quotations there, like how well he thinks he is with this toy sword. And he's not bad. It looks like he's been really trying his best to mimic guards and stuff that he's seen. But it's very clear he's just a kid with a toy sword. But when you're not like actively talking to him about things that would kind of ground him in the moment or make him think of things of the past, he does get kind of spacey, and then he wants to wander more, and he gets a little antsy and wants to go play in the streets.
Okay. I am going to walk over to, as he wants to go and play in the streets, I'm gonna like kneel down in front of him, and I'm still with an eye shot of the caretaker, correct?
Yes.
I'm going to say, "Psst, come here. I have a secret for you."
Oh, okay, yeah.
So, you want to go play, correct? Would you like to get a bit far away from here?
Yeah, I want fresh air.
Fresh air. I think I might be able to do that for you. But you got to remember, the caretaker does not want you to leave her sight. So I was thinking, how could we get away from them without causing some suspicion or causing concern? What do you think?
There's a window that doesn't close that sometimes kids sneak out after dinner when it's bedtime and the caretakers stop checking. They sometimes go out through that.
Interesting. Well, could you tell me where this window is, and if so, would you perchance maybe want to stroll about town after dark, or and this is just a big maybe we could go feign that you are hungry and could meet you at the other side of near the window, and you could climb down and we could sneak away. I hear that there's quite a beautiful breeze coming from the port side of town. I know a nice tavern called the Sea Serpent, or the Sea Spirit, I believe is what they call it. But it has
I
the
don't
most...
like the dock.
Oh, you don't? Ah, I see.
I want fresh air.
Oh, beyond the walls of the city then.
Yeah, I want to play in the grass. And I think, yeah, I want to go play over there.
Interesting. Alrighty then. Give me just a moment. And I'm going to walk over to the caretaker, and I'm going to say to them, something about the child does seem to be distracting them. They seem as if they do not want to be playing on stone. They wish to go out into the wild. And I was wondering, have you heard any reference to this by any of the other children?
She pauses for a moment and goes, well, you know, all children love to play in the grass and find bugs and everything. That's why they have this backyard area. Most of the kids are very content with this. Can't think of any complaints or whinings to be elsewhere or the like.
Alright, interesting. Well, I just asked because the child seems as if it's not quite, well, getting to venture a bit more, to stretch their legs, and I do understand that safety is an extremely big concern when it comes to the children. But I was wondering if perhaps it might be possible at some point if you take the child a bit out more to a place a bit more open, less constrained by walls and a bit more open, say a forest or even just some grassy plains.
She tells you that she'll take that to the headmistress to consider, and that it doesn't seem like a bad idea. I mean, it's pretty safe outside the city walls and all that. Maybe
Okay.
it would be a nice field trip for the children.
Yeah. Alright, now I have one DM to player question. Did I hear that some of the children, not all, but some of the children seem to be distracted, or is it just this child?
Just this boy.
Just this child. Okay. And with that being said, I'm gonna go back to the child and I'm gonna tell them that's the caretaker said that eventually they will take you outside of the walls, but I do see that you would like to go now. Do you have a specific place you'd like to go?
He just kind of thinks for a moment and kind of stares off into space, and eventually he just points, goes, that way. I want to go that way.
Can you give me a north, east, southwest?
Actually, what I'll do is I will pull the party on, or I'll just pull you specifically since you're the one who's. Wait, where is my thing? Want. Where
Womp
is
womp.
my map? There it is.
Yeah, I don't have a response to that.
Okay. And
Sorry to break your
okay, so you should be on the map page now.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so you'll want to scroll down to Silkwater, and actually, how do I ping you? Focus ping. So this is Silkwater. So he's pointing you relatively directly west.
Directly west. Okay. I will say to the west. Is just for the outside, yes, or is maybe there a specific spot you'd like to go?
He kind of shrugs and says, I just want to go that way. I think I need to go that way.
Well, would you like to go now?
Yeah, I can I go now?
Yes, but only one condition. I need you to go to tell your caretaker that there is an emergency. I need you to tell her that there seems to be something wrong with one of the children up in their rooms.
I can do that, yeah.
Yes, do that, please, and meet me around about a couple of houses down. I will wait for you alongside the streets, and then we will make our way.
The kid nods and, without another word, rushes over to do as you suggested. But, checking at the time now, this is actually around when I like to take a 10-minute bathroom break. So I think that this would be a good time to do that.
Yes, that would be a perfect time. Okay, let's go ahead and take a 10-minute break.
Everyone do your stretches, get your snacks.
Burn it all
Yeah.
down.
Yeah, I'm gonna grab a snack real quick. Amara's about to call her father. So we'll
Yeah.
reconvene. I mean, it's 46. Do we just want to come back at the next hour mark?
Yeah, around there.
Okay, sounds good to me.
I need tea.
You and your tea.
Tea sounds really good right now.
I'm gonna go get some alcohols.
I was gonna say I'm on my second beer.
Well,
Yeah,
I'm not
well,
allowed to
sure,
have
yeah.
alcohol anymore.
Why not?
Has that stopped you?
Isn't it because of your? No, that was Zisser that was having the alcohol problems.
I have a bad kidney right now.
Oh, yeah, no, you can't.
But she is yet to let that stop her.
That's not true. Sometimes your well-being is, in the long run, is more important than how you feel right now.
Oh no, I agree. It's just
Okay,
I'm-
at first, yes, but you know that I've been being good.
Plus, if we're gonna have Zisera not drink because she's on medication that makes her drowsy, we can't inherently push. I forgot your name. Sorry. We can't inherently push her to
Timmy.
also do it.
No, I'm not pushing her to do it. It's just she has been doing it.
I have not. I've been being Have.
You have
Okay.
been being Have? Okay, I mean, fair enough, fair enough. So what do you guys think so far? Am I a good player yet?
Your story so far is, I'm enjoying it just because since I'm so hidden right now from a lot of it and having to hide out, it's just kind of more of your guys' story, which I'm like enjoying everybody's like what's going on.
Oh yeah, I have some interesting ideas.
Being a veteran of Silkwater, I'd say that you're doing an amazing job,
Oh no.
and I'm not allowed to say anything else.
Oh no. Oh no.
Rip.
That tells me everything
All
I
right.
need to know.
Be right back then. I'm gonna go get some water and some alcohol.
Just be careful, because Sasha is a very strict DM over certain things.
Your choices matter. Whee!
I know. So I'm sitting here just like. Now I'm gonna need alcohol. Choices. Why should they all matter? Why can't you just intervene? Why can't you intervene?
I mean, I do sometimes, but it's usually like, are you sure you want to do that? Or I'd like tell you, okay, but you like your characters know this would have these sort of consequences. But for the most part, it's if you want to do something that would have consequences that you wouldn't know about, you're good to go.
Yep. It's gonna be interesting this time.
Yeah. I just decided to not have tea because I remembered I had not hot, but I had chocolate milk in the fridge.
Wow, you're choosing chocolate milk over the tea? Shame on you.
For now.
My doctor's appointment went really good.
Yeah.
I've got a bit of an infection, but other than that, everything's healing properly from the surgery.
Well, that's good to hear. May it continue to heal properly.
Jess and I also we tried to eat 16-ounce steaks. That didn't go well.
Too much food.
Why did my screen go black? What did you do?
Oh, I took you to the wrong page. Do-do-do-do-do. I went preemptively.
I saw things.
No, he saw nothing.
I saw things.
He saw nothing.
If you say so. Seriously though, you are doing amazing at like with the route that you are going as a player, and I'm really enjoying you as a player.
I don't think he heard that because he said BRB.
Oh yeah.
Do it.
Nobody's talking to you.
Wow. I'll just go crawl in a hole and die then.
You just reminded me that I can't have alcohol.
I wasn't trying to be mean.
I can break the rules. Do it.
Zero judgment from me. You already know this.
I know, but it's not your judgment I worry about.
I just care that you're being safe.
She can hear you.
I know. That's why I said it. Because we both care.
He made fun of me for saying behave, but that's a West Virginian thing.
Oh yeah, that's definitely more of a Eastern thing.
Dialect.
I mean, I say you guys a lot, which is a northern thing, because Texas is y'all quite a bit. So I'll say it both ways.
I actually say both ways too, but primarily I would say you guys.
I say you guys. Better. Hey you!
But anyways, it's very interesting so far.
My night's already been made.
Oh yeah, because you got to pickpocket your boyfriend.
He's not my boyfriend. But I finally got to get him back for smacking Cadence's ass.
He did that a lot, didn't he?
Yes, he did.
I'm debating if I should change my disguise as I go into another area.
She would have kept the money, but he does know her secret.
Mm-hmm. And don't get it between a man and his lunch.
Exactly.
Food is everything to men.
The way to a man's heart is his stomach. That or to fight with him, as her mother would say.
So we're wrestling then? Okay. Bring the shit.
I think Zyna would agree with that.
Oh, my Zyna. Technically, that's how her and her... Well, you know. Not her and Arinrius, but when she dumped Arinrius and decided to get engaged to the prince, her and the prince were... Like, their first kiss was in the middle of a duel. So... I miss those characters. Like I said, if you want to use them for an NPC, if you want to use, you just let me know, and I will be them.
Maybe. We'll have to see how things kind of shake out.
You having fun, Sasha?
Yeah.
As she shoves her mouth with food.
I've got popcorn.
Ooh, that's, man, see, now I should have done that.
Still got time if you want to make some quick.
No. Kid's asleep. I don't want to wake her up.
Oh, that's fair. Yeah. Don't wake up the kiddo.
Have you guys ever laughed so much that you got a headache?
Yes, actually.
Yes.
Like, me and my sister were talking about that today. She's like, I hate to tell you this, but every time we have our girls' days, I have a horrible headache by the end of it. And I'm like, so do I! She says it's because we have sad lives and we never laugh until we're alone.
Okay.
she also got on to me about mom saying that I'm the oldest and mom's my responsibility. And I said, nope, that's your mother.
I feel like this is a no comments zone.
Not really. There's comment. I mean, like, Sasha knows.
Mm-hmm. I think both of you should wash your hands of her entirely, but you know.
Yeah, but Jess won't. She says that she feels like she has to be loyal, and that Grandma always said to honor thy mother and father. And she says she doesn't want to feel guilty when Mom finally kicks the bucket. And she says, you're going to feel really bad. I was like, no, I'm not.
See, my brother says the same thing about my mom.
Next time she says that sort of thing, ask her, by the time your mom kicks the bucket, how guilty is she going to be that she's been putting her kids through, like, maybe not interacting with her, but seeing her herself, the aftermath of dealing with mom.
Exactly. We talked about that because she was mad at her because Mom stole $20 out of her purse last week. And she wasn't going to go. Okay. And like the texts are hilarious. I screenshotted them. But she was like, Mom called me and her 20 times until one of us answered, crying about her wrist hurting and stuff. And she wanted my stuff from my surgery, is what she wanted. But Jess was worried about her being hurt. And she said, I don't know, maybe I should go check on her. And I said, don't do it. If you go down there, she's going to make you do something and you're going to hate it. And she said, but what if she's really hurt? And I said, you are a fish, and Mom is just cast out your favorite bait.
Mm-hmm.
Do not grab the hook. She grabbed that hook.
It's
And I
setting
got
a
to
really
say, I
bad
told
example for the kids.
I got to say, I told you so. And she, well, actually, she looked at it was our mental link because me and her have that weird mental link where we finish each other's sentences and stuff. Like, I looked at her and she's like, "Don't say a fucking word." And I said, "I don't have to." Mom was crying, saying her wrist was hurting and she didn't want to load wood, so she made her like carry 3 loads of wood into the house.
Oh God.
And she fell down the hill.
Ooh.
She's all right. She got covered in mud though.
Poor Jess.
I mean, she did it to herself, though.
She does, but she's really, like, she has a better bond with my mom than I do, which I had to hear about. Because she's like, I don't know why she's your mother too. And I said, no, I was raised by Granny.
I was raised by nobody. That's fantastic.
But that shadow journal thing that I bought, Sasha, it has made me realize so much. And I was talking to her with it the whole drive. Like, and she was like, that makes so much sense.
Shadow journal? I'm confused.
It's on TikTok. Have you not seen the TikTok about shadow journals?
They're for helping to understand and unravel some of traumas and understanding behaviors that come from said traumas. It's a really good thing. Also, sorry, I was away from the computer for a moment, but I knew it would be. Like, I knew you would have some, like, revelations and shit while doing that.
Yeah, but some of them I'm not liking. And I don't know how to change them.
You can't.
So I just have to own up to it?
I mean, yeah, the only things that you can change are your behaviors and your perception of things. And when I say perceptions, I don't mean like perception of the past and making yourself feel happy about things that happen. I mean like changing how you think about things going forward.
Yeah, like, I get really annoyed or aggravated when people ask me to teach them simple things or to show them simple things that I believe is common knowledge. And the book helped me realize that I was forced to do everything by myself, and I think that it's put this thing in my head where everybody should do it by themselves.
Mm-hmm. Makes sense.
It's made me feel bad because people have asked me to help them like find their browser on computers. I'm like, are you retarded? Or the kids with their homework even. I was like, I learned that shit by myself. You're on your own.
It doesn't help that half the shit that they're learning now is completely different from when we learned it.
Yeah, except the stuff I say is mostly for spelling words and stuff.
Okay, so I have some news.
Mm-hmm.
She will tell you when she gets in.
Alrighty.
Then you don't have
you
the news.
could-
She does.
You could walk over here and just say it.
So, Sasha,
Mm-hmm.
like, my father extremely difficult as a person, right?
Yeah.
So, when I meant difficult, I meant an asshole.
I kind of assumed.
Very much so. So, the main problem is that I am extremely pissed to the point that I currently would love to just break down and fucking cry. Because this man sometimes pisses me off a lot. Things have been happening, yada yada, whatever. Austin and I, we wanted a rest day. That's just apparently not in the fucking deck of cards at all. So, I got called, I got bitched out, was told some unfortunate news. Things kind of just piled on top of each other. So, considering the fact that I am so angry, I am not gonna be able to fucking play because I am pissed. This man makes me want to fucking deck him sometimes, respectfully.
No, you don't need respectfully on that.
Shit, I fucking hate him from time to time.
That is
So-
the time when I would say you can deck him very unrespectfully.
It would be a decking with love. So anyway,
Feel that.
I just can't fucking do tonight. I can't.
That
Like-
is absolutely fine, honey.
I love you guys. You're great. I would love to play D&D with you, but right now I am too fucking angry to think. So if you hear some clanging in the background on Drago's end, it may or may not be me. I don't know.
All right.
So, I am sorry this has happened.
You're
And-
totally okay, honey.
And I am going to interject and say that we should put a pin in it because I
Yeah.
am also stressed and irritated about it. I do have this on stream, so I'll put it up as soon as it loads and I'll export it so we can come back to this. But I would like to put a pin in it as well, just because I don't want her irritated as much as she is and trying to listen to me do D&D, and I also don't want to try to ignore it. So
Yeah, no, that's fine. I was honestly going to be asking if you guys were okay with putting a pin in it, because I don't like running games without the full party if I can help it. If you guys wanted to keep going, I'd keep going for you, but I would rather us all be kind of on the same page with things.